guys, welcome to Bundy Bug. My name's Leanne and welcome back to my channel. So firstly, I apologise for being very MIA, but here in the UK, it's been just a royal shit show, to be honest, with the coronavirus, plus I'm studying at university trying to get my degree, and it's all a bit hectic. So between lockdown, work, the weather and just Bundy in general, I just haven't had the time to even think about doing any work on her. It's been really difficult, and all the work that does need doing on her is large things, which I will discuss with you shortly. However, I want to spend a little bit of time with you telling you the best and worst things I've discovered through having Bundy in my first winter. If you do not live in the UK, our winters can be quite harsh, and also we can have 4 seasons in one day. Now, I live by the sea, so the wind and ice is quite a big deal here, so it can get very, very chilly. So I really wanted to appreciate these cars for what they are, and I mean, the one thing I have to stress, although this is a countdown from 5 to 1 of the best and worst things, I have to stress that none of these are absolutely terrible things, because they're not. This car has surprised me beyond belief. For such an old car with limited things on it, I mean, let's face it, there is no bells and whistles with these cars. What you see is what you get. You get a steering wheel, pedals, and an engine, and that's pretty much it. She surprised me in so many ways, and I want to share that with you today. So here we go. My top 5 best to worst things I experienced with Bundy this winter. Here goes. So at number 5, we have the fact that Bundy started every single time. Yep, you heard it here first. Every morning, that baby started. I don't know if it's because she's air cooled and there's no water involved. I have no idea. And do you know what? I don't care. Even if it was just the heavens looking after me, she started every single time. That really surprised me, being the age that she is, and obviously not being in great condition, which she's not. I know she's not. The fact that she started amazed me, and it was really impressive. We have some terribly cold mornings here this winter, and it's not been very nice. So the fact that she has started every single time was absolutely amazing for me, and I really appreciate that. In that thought, I have to also highlight the fact of how well she drived. I was very nervous about driving Bundy this winter because I am used to the bells and whistles of new cars. I'm used to anti-lock brakes. I'm used to power steering, and I'm used to driving in ice and horrible conditions, knowing that the car is there as a safety blanket and it has these features to look after me. With Bundy, you don't have any of that. All of that is taken away from you. It's purely the car, you, and the road. So I had a little bit of, I don't want to say anxiety, but I was nervous. I will truly put my hand up and say I was nervous about driving her in certain conditions. However, again, she didn't fault me. I never felt, whilst driving her, I never felt that I was not in control. Now, although they're quite light cars, I never felt like I wasn't in control of her or the road. I did have one experience with her where I did hit a bit of ice, which did scare me. But I was always told that if you hit ice, you steer into it, which I did, and I was able to correct myself very, very easily. So in that respect, I have to really give a massive shout out to these cars, because if it wasn't for me being put in that situation, I wouldn't have learned how to handle that. You know, I wouldn't have learned how to control it a proper way without having all these security features on the cars which you have today. But it didn't matter what the weather threw at me. It didn't matter if we had rain, hail, snow, severe ice. It didn't matter. Bundy just went through all of it, and she was an absolute trooper, and that is honestly the best thing that I've encountered this winter. So much so that I know that next winter I haven't got to worry about driving her, because I know that together we've got it. It's fine. So at number 4, we have one that really surprised me, and that is the fact that Bundy was warm inside. It's even saying it sounds weird. So Bundy has no heater channels. They are completely and utterly broken and need redoing. And to get them done, I'm basically going to have to sell half my liver because that's the only way that I'm going to be able to afford it. So I'm going to deal with that when I can. But at the moment, I'm just wrapping up warm and driving her. And there were some mornings that were absolutely bitterly cold, really, really nasty. I do live on the coast. We do get a hell of a lot of north wind, and some days it can be quite vile, to be honest. It's not nice living here in winter. So I was quite nervous about how cold she was going to be, especially driving to work in the mornings. But funny enough, she was actually not bad. She was actually surprisingly warm. As long as I was wrapped up, I didn't feel the effects of the cold really outside. Once I got in her, and I don't know if my body heat helped warm her up as well as the engine once it was moving. But they were surprisingly warm little cars. And that was brilliant because that was one of my main things I was really worried about this winter. Obviously, with not having the heater channels and not having any heat in her whatsoever was really just like, oh my God, I'm going to freeze, I'm going to die. They're going to find me frozen one day, you know, trying to make it to work. And I hate being cold. Oh my God, I hate being cold. It's one of my pet things. I just don't like it. So I was really worried about that. But actually, can't fault, absolute trooper little car again. But I think it helps because of how airtight they are. I mean, once you're in there, there's no wind or anything getting in those bad boys through those doors, nothing. So I think that really, really helped. But yeah, that is my number 4. Surprisingly, yeah, really warm inside. See, it sounds wrong saying it. Why does it sound so wrong saying it? Crazy. Okay, at number 3, we have brakes. Now, I do have drum brakes, and yes, it might as well be me putting my foot on the floor like Fred Flintstone's is trying to stop. That's how it feels sometimes. The brakes haven't been horrendous this winter. However, I have certainly had to allow additional time when stopping, especially in wet weather and obviously icy weather, like you would with any car. But with Bundy, I've really made sure that I keep that extra bit of distance just in case. I always find myself getting a bit nervous in severe weather. The one thing I have found is my brakes do get a little bit seasy when it's cold. They get a little bit squeaky and not great first thing in the morning, and I have found that. I don't know if it's because they're cold. I don't know if it's because the maybe the grit of the road maybe got in them, the salt. I don't know. As I said, I'm not a car person. I don't know all the ins and outs. All I do know is they have been a little bit temperamental here and there. But again, considering the age of the car, considering the roads have been horrible and the weather's been really shocking, I can't fault it. I mean, she stopped every time. I didn't go into the back of someone, so surely that's me winning, right? So, but yeah, the brakes have been a little bit icky, a little bit funny. It's really hard to explain because I can feel it underneath my foot, but trying to picture it, what it is, and say it is a completely new experience for me. So it just feels a little bit grindy, like something's a little bit there. They're not quite a little bit sticky maybe, you know. They just need that releasing, maybe that warmth just to start them up. Like I said, it could have been anything, salt, grit, I don't know, but that has been awesome. The brakes, I cannot fault them. Again, being drum brakes and not the newer brakes, that did concern me. But again, there's just no fault. I can't fault the car as a whole really until we get to number 2. So my number 2 isn't a fault or anything. It's more of annoyance and inconvenience. So we all know in winter we have to de-ice our cars. Yeah, that's standard procedure. However, no one told me you had to de-ice the inside of your car. Why didn't anyone tell me this? I have to allow an extra 10 minutes to make sure that I de-ice inside and outside of my car. I haven't got time for that. I have to drag my backside out of bed just to get to work on time. And then I have to de-ice the inside of my car as well. That's like, oh, just thinking about it is making me stressed. It's ridiculous. So I kind of get up, I go outside to Bundy, and obviously I see ice on the outside. Yeah, that's fine. Used to that, scraping it off. Sadly, we did have a fatality with the back of Bundy's window. Bundy is now named Bund because I accidentally took the Y off, so I need to get that redone. But I'm used to that. But then when you notice that you've scraped all the ice off, but there's still ice remaining, you realise it's just as thick inside as it was outside. That is, yeah, I found that quite annoying. I really did. I don't know if there's a way to stop that. Like, guys, have you got any suggestions? Because I haven't got time for that. I really haven't. And then not only that, because I'm scraping on the inside, it all goes over my seat, and then I end up getting a wet bum before I go to work as well, and then that annoys me. So as I said, it's not a bad thing. It's more of a really inconvenient and annoying thing. No, you shouldn't have to de-ice the inside of your car. Okay, number one, worst thing about winter and Bundy. This is way down at number one. This makes me angry. So, as I said, I live on the coast. We have sea air. Yeah, sea air and my car doesn't mix, especially when I've got chrome on my car. Um, my chrome wheels are screwed. I can't put it any other way. I have been trying to clean them as best I can. No sooner have I removed the rust off of the chrome, the rust has reappeared. It has been a constant battle this winter to maintain the rust on my chrome wheels, to the point that my next point of call is I think I've decided to get them powder coated because I can't be dealing with this next winter. Honestly, it's been really stressful and really annoying because it's heartbreaking. I spend ages, and I do spend ages scrubbing these chromes to get the rust off, and then no more than 2 days later it's just as thick and back again. And it just makes the car look terrible. It really does. I know rust is an issue. I understand that, and it doesn't help where I live, especially, like I said, we've got the sea air, you've got the gritted, you've got general water and dirt off of the road. So I know it is an issue, but it's just so annoying and I just can't handle it. So I think I found a couple of local companies that will do it for me. It's around the 300 mark, which I can't really afford at the moment. Due to I'm in correspondence with a local garage about getting the welding done on Bundy because there's a footwell, I think it's the passenger side, there in the footwell there's quite a bit of rust and that needs to be redone, and also where the heating channels are, someone has completely bodged the rust there, meaning that for me to even get the heater channels fixed, they have welded the body to the chassis. So even to get the heater channels fixed, we need to completely remove that welding and fix it up so it's no longer connected. That's going to be a hell of a job, and I have got my savings put away for that. So any additional things like powder coating, anything more cosmetic, I'm not really allowing for. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and get them done because I can't go another winter with that. I mean, rust is a constant battle. It really is. And I beg any of you, if you've got any tips for trying to control the rust so I can maybe hold off on getting the powder coated for a few more months, I really appreciate it. As said, especially with the seasons coming up, there is a very slim possibility that there will be some VW events coming. There is definitely one going ahead in the UK at Stonham Barnes called Beetlejuice, which I am booked in for. Bundy and I will be there at the show and shine, but obviously I don't want to go show Bundy with rusty chrome wheels. So yeah, any advice, guys, to get rid of the rust or even maintain it a little bit just so I can get the wheels powder coated, I really appreciate it. But that is definitely the worst thing I've encountered this winter with her. And to be honest, I don't want to go through next winter and deal with that because that stressed me out more than knowing my brakes weren't great. That stressed me out more than the ice on the inside of the car. That stressed me out more than anything was having the rust and not being able to control it. So, and also in my mind, I'm going, well, wait a minute. If the rust is doing this on chrome wheels, then what the hell is it doing underneath my car? What is it doing to my bodywork? And then I kind of find myself going through this like horrible mental kind of loop of, oh my gosh, does this need doing? Oh my gosh, does that need, oh, how much is that going to cost me? And I just don't need the stress or the anxiety at the moment, to be honest. So any advice, I would really appreciate it. Obviously, I'm putting it out there to my VW community. Guys, help a girl out. Any advice is welcome. So, but that's it really. I mean, there's not really a top 5, to be honest. There's not really bad things in my top 5. I mean, apart from the rust, she's been amazing this winter and I couldn't fault her. So as I said, we have got events coming up. Beetlejuice is definitely confirmed in Stonham Barns. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is July time. I think I need to check the dates on that, but that is definitely going ahead. They have got a Facebook page. If you want to get on there and get your tickets for weekend camping or even just come for a day, definitely do it. Bundy and I will be there, obviously meeting people. Although in a lot of these events, she's actually the rougher looking one out of all of them, because some of the Beetles that turn up are just, honestly, they're to die for. They actually are to die for. And I will be doing lots of videos and things of the events coming up. So I hope you're all safe and well. Please, any advice on any of the things that I've commented in my video, I'd really appreciate it. Keep in touch, guys. And as always, stay safe and look after yourself. And we'll see you soon. Bye now.